Hey, hey, yeah. I appreciate y'all coming out.
Where King Mez come from?
Alright, word. Well, it's funny, man, cause like I don't know. I always knew I was gonna rap my whole life. You know, since I was a little boy. You know, I started rapping when I was like 9. But my dad could rap, and it's crazy because we don't even have a close relationship. Never like taught me how to rap or make beats or nothing like that. But I guess it's just genetics. When he was around my age now, like he had to deal with Boogie Down Productions. He had to pass on because he was going into the military or whatever. So it's kind of always in me. And growing up, I used to rap, freestyle, lunch table battling. You know, everybody knew me for that. You know, love hooping, but I wasn't nice. So you know, you had to stick to what you was good at. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I'd be battling or whatever, but I ain't never had no alias. You know, never really had no name. Everybody just called me by my first name. My name started with an M, you know, so M Easy became my name over time, and it's funny because it's, you know, ordained by other people. They just start calling me that. And
describe your style, just in one word. What would you say your style is?
I mean, with one word, to just kind of get the most out of everything, I'll probably just say soulful. You know, I think that's probably the best way to explain what I do. If I could choose my genre of music, I would call it soul music. My motivation, honestly, before anything was my mom, my mother. Love my mom, man. It's the strongest person I ever met in my life. You know what I'm saying? I miss her every day. I feel like, I don't know, man, just the way she was. It really had a lot to do with the name I chose for myself and everything. She had like a royal character almost to her, like a presence. Like, you ever seen Felicia Rashad and the way she carried herself in the Cosby? It's like, I love Felicia Rashad. And you know, what you look for in a woman is kind of like what you like, little parts of it is like what you look for from your mom, or things you saw in your mom, you know what I'm saying? And it's like those characters you like, yeah, man, that's something I would like to have, you know, for my own whenever the time is right. So I think my mom is probably my biggest inspiration, you know, as far as anything goes.
As an emerging artist, you know, there's a lot of adversity, you know, that comes with that process, you know, and just to get over that hump of, you know, being accepted as a professional in the industry, you know, and basically, you know, how do you approach those situations, you know, just trying to, you know, break through into the music industry, like those humps of just being accepted as a professional.
It's so easy to just, you know, to witness the way things are going and try to play that same track, try to play that same hand of cards, and get on. Everybody tries it, you know. You see blogs are popular for people going to get their music now. Everybody, you know, my main focus is sending my music to blogs and getting on like that. Or if you see somebody get a cosign, my main focus is sending my music to a famous artist, trying to get on with a cosign, you know. There's so many other ways to do it. I feel like you just gotta be open-minded. I feel like you have to be as creative on a business level as you are creative in your music, you know what I'm saying? Or in your art, whatever your art is, you know. I feel like it's just extremely important because anytime you're talking about, now we have the internet, and it's millions and millions of people with the opportunity to come out and just be famous, be successful, you know. With the blink of an eye, some people come out and put out one song. You know, Trinidad James, for instance, I think that might have been his first project he ever put out or whatever. And his first single from his first project is probably platinum now. I'm not 100% sure, but you know, it can happen that fast. So in a market like that, I think you really got to be creative about the way that you come out. Your music has to be different. Something has to be stand out about it, but your business has to be creative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, even with that being said, I try to approach things in a different way. Like the blogs, I love blogs, and I got a lot of love and appreciation for a lot of the ones that support me, and websites too. But I just feel like it's very particular things I try to do. You know, for instance, working with Under Armour is something that hasn't come out yet. A lot of opportunity, you know, that they put in my hands, and a lot of trust and et cetera, they gave me. I'm real appreciative of it, you know. A lot of people don't know about it yet. They won't know till football season, you know what I'm saying? But stuff like that is different, you know. I'm at a young level. Most people at my level would say, oh man, I haven't done this yet. I haven't done that yet. What do I look like reaching out to a billion-dollar corporation, you know? And people say, wow, I'm the kind of guy. I'm like, why not? You know, worst they can say is no. They're not even gonna throw hands with me outside in the parking lot for asking, you know, why not? You know, and I appreciate them for being receptive, you know. And not just them, it's so many different companies, you know. I feel like, or not even just companies, people, places, you know, people will receive you. You just gotta reach out in a particular manner, you know what I'm saying?
A lot of people don't know you have a pretty good relationship with Rock Nation's artist, J. Cole.
Yeah.
Just want to know, what type of inspiration does he give you, and advice regarding you breaking through into the industry?
Okay. And I say he's from home a lot, so I think I probably convey a lot of people, or I'll probably push a lot of people to say or think he's from Raleigh. He's from Fayetteville, which is, it's not even that far though. It's maybe like an hour and a half away. So, but Carolina is such a, I don't know, no matter where you go, you could be in the most country part, you could be in the most urban, the most city part. It's still like just, I don't know, it's a cohesiveness throughout. So you say somebody's from home, it's home, no matter where,
Yeah.
It ain't like you could be in Brooklyn or Harlem, and it's different, because it is different. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's the same, But it's funny. I met him after All-Star Weekend. I can't remember what year it was. I think it was 2012, because it was February. He heard my music in LA in No ID studio, because a producer named Umi that produced on a lot of his projects produced on mine as well. And he was in the studio with No ID with my man Soundtrack, who produced like a bunch of stuff for Lupe, his first and second album. And they were out there, and Omen played him the music. He was like, yo, let me play this song from this kid from North Carolina that I've been working with. Played it for him, he loved it. He was like, you got something else for him? Played him more music, He loved it too. He loved it so much, he was like, yo, I gotta meet him, and ended up hitting me up. He flew to my city just to meet me after All-Star Weekend. And it was crazy when I was getting the text messages, because my man Omen was like, yo, Cole just heard your music. He want to meet you. I was wildin', I'm a big fan, and my brother was in the house. We was just like having a fit, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And I didn't know when he was gonna hit me, and I didn't want to get my hopes up too high, so I was like, yo, let me just, let me play it cool and be grateful and thankful for the opportunity for him to even hear it, But Lord and behold, eventually, man, Cole texted me himself. When he texted me, son, I thought my life, I was like, yeah, son, like, the things has changed, exactly. But I mean, as time goes on, you realize those relationships are extremely valuable. You know what I'm saying? You don't bank your whole career, your life on any one particular situation, but anytime you got somebody that look after you and really care about your success, man, it's extremely valuable. So my relationship with him is like an older brother to a younger brother. I remember first time I started working with him, actually was when he came down there to meet me. Like, he was working on beats and asked me some opinions on particular things, and et cetera, et cetera. But after that, he brought me to the studio where he was working on Born Center, his second album in New York. And he actually rented me out my own room in the same studio, paid for it. Was like, yo, you can have it for the day, just do your thing. And I was just in there recording, man, and it was love. It's like, I'm in there recording, and like, it's the vocal booth, and it's like 4 other people on my team that I travel with and work with, and this is normal, this is usual. I'm in the booth recording, and I can see them through the glass. But then it's like every so often, one of my favorite rappers walk in the room while I'm recording, and I'm seeing him through the glass, bobbing his. I'm like, damn, this is crazy, and it's wild. And he's the kind of guy, so he won't really like. He'll tell you if he likes something, or but he won't gas you, he won't go in all crazy. But it's funny because I'll be recording, and like, they would tell me what he would say. He wouldn't say it when I was in the room, but like, I remember I came back in the room and they was like, oh, you missed it, man. He said you was nice as hell, and I'm like, damn, I wasn't even there to hear it. But it's really the fact that he even brought me out there, the fact that he expressed interest in me, the fact that he taught me as much as he taught me about the industry already. I think I'm so appreciative of that. He don't ever have to do nothing again for me for the rest of my life, and I'd be grateful. Just the inspiration alone, man.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So My Everlasting Zilla, that project came out in 2012, early 2012. In my opinion, great project.
Appreciate that, man. My man said it's good. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Nah, no problem. How's the response been, since then?
It's been good, man. I feel like that was my first project where I really had the opportunity to put it on a grand scale and really get national attention. The one before that was really the first one online. It was an EP. It was only like 6 tracks. Me and this producer named Crisis put it together. Shout out to him and Ninth Wonder and all my family, my North Carolina music family back home. But that was much smaller. You know what I'm saying? It's not a whole lot easier to put a smaller project together, but you're not thinking about it as much as like My Everlasting Zilla was a complete, cohesive project. I produced on it, my friends produced on it, J. Cole produced on it, soundtrack produced on it. You know, I got all these people working on one thing, and it's hard to make it sound the same. It still gotta have a continuous feeling, a continuous emotion throughout. So I think that was I don't know, man, one of the hardest things I've ever had to put together. But in the end, I was so excited, you know, when it came out. It came out, man. I remember when Life Is Good, Nas' album got its XXL rating. My album was right next to it, and I had an XL. You know, whenever you went on the website, his joint had a XXL, my joint had an XL, and I was just so proud. Like, Nas, one of my favorite rappers. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, between that and the album debuting on Jay-Z's Life and Times, you know, as the first place to put it out, and DJBooth.net, like, I was grateful, you know. And then the videos from the project, like, that was my first time being on 106 in Park. You know, I had been on MTV before, but I was on MTV again with that, you know, and so it really expanded my horizons on a business level, and I feel like I grew artistically, and, you know, I had the opportunity to learn so much going into that project. Soundtrack was a big part of the project as well, you know, huge part of the project. I really appreciate him and Prolific, 1120. I went out to Chicago to work with him, you know. They took me to the studio where they mix food and liquor, where they mix late registration. This guy named Craig or whatever. That was like a life-changing, eye-opening experience as well. So I really appreciate him for that.
What's cooking up, man? That's what everybody wants to know.
I'm working on a new project, man. Long Live the King 2. You know, it's funny because my Long Live the King 1 was like the first mixtape I ever had to kind of go around, just give to people. It was like my first hard copy I was walking around with, trying to, you know, build buzz. And I was at Morgan, you know, when I was putting that together and stuff like that. So it's a real nostalgic situation to go back to the same name, and you kind of building this saga. And I feel like it's gonna be dope because people will go back and listen to the first one when I was like 19, you know, and I made it and put it out, whatever the case might be. And this will be number 2, but the growth is crazy from the first one to the second one. It's not even like, I don't know. I mean, of course you tell it's still me, but it's just wild. Like, I mean, the features I have on this one, I ain't gonna say no names on camera, you know what I'm saying? But I'm excited, you know. I'm extremely excited as far as production, as far as, like I said, the features. I have new management going to the situation, you know. It makes a completely different atmosphere, you know, as far as opportunity, as far as me being creative. I can stay creative and not have to worry about business all the time, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I feel like as an ambitious person, you just always want to get better, man. You just always want to reach new heights and try new things and become more well-rounded, more well-versed as an artist, as a person, you know what I'm saying? As a brother, as a grandson, as a nephew, you know, just everything. I just want to be a better person, you know, going into everything that I do. I feel like it really makes a difference because any true artist, no matter what kind of art you do, art is an extension of who you are, you know, and who you are has so much to do with the way that things turn out, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's so important. So, yeah, it's just that continuous growth, man. Just never being, you know, content. It's also celebrating the victories when they come. That's really one of my biggest issues, is trying to be happy, you know, in times where I know I got so much more to do, so much further to go. Like a lot of people say, yo, you know, you did this, man, just be happy for a day. And I'll be happy for an hour, you know. And after that hour, I'm like, man, I gotta get back to it. I gotta get back on it, you know what I'm saying? Because I know what I want. I know what I see for myself. It's not even what I want at this point. I feel like this is what has to happen, you know. You got all these people in your corner that invest time, invest energy, deplete relationships, and, you know, and take away from the things they have going on at home, you know, to invest in the youth and what you have. I mean, it's crazy meeting friends or being with friends and meeting their parents, and their parents know about you. And they, you know, like my manager, for instance, Heather, she was my manager before I ended up with new management. And I spoke to her mom and her dad, and her life is telling them what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Or like, you know, they're saying, Heather, you know, you're in New York, what's going on? What are you up to? And I mean, Heather has her own website, and like she does all types of amazing stuff, you know, on her own. Like, and that's really how I met her, was trying to get on her website, you know. But now it's become us working together as a team, you know, on top of the new management we got and stuff like that. And it's crazy because I feel almost responsible for a lot of people's future. Not only hers, my DJ, you know, my coordinator, my producer, engineer, my A&R. I got like a bunch of people in my corner. I got lawyers. I got, you know, I really want to make sure that time isn't wasted, you know. And I know for a fact it won't be, because I'm thinking about them, I'm thinking about my family, I'm thinking about my younger brother, you know, thinking about honoring my mother. Like, this is too much. It's too much into it at this point for me to slack, for me to lose. It's impossible. That's how I look at it in my mind. Yeah.
Yo, this is King Mez, man. Raleigh, North Carolina, 919. You already know what it is, man. I'm in here with Social Opulence, SocialOpulence.com. You know, check me out. KingMez.com, Twitter King Mez, Instagram King Mez, Google King Mez, you know, and we out, man. I appreciate y'all having me. One. Shout out to my man Omen on the beat. Yeah, fresh. You know what it is.